Hello and welcome back everybody to the Foodbuild factory, where today we're going to take a look at the Bloodraider. That's the guy you can see on screen right now. And as always, I'm going to show you some gameplay in the first part of the video, and in the second part of the video we're going to take a look at the perks, the mutations and everything you need to recreate the character. Now, what's going to be a little bit special about this one here is that this time around we're using power armor for our shotgun. Something I haven't done so far. The main reason being that shotguns usually perform best when used with VATS, and yeah, we do have a bit, it seems to be losing a dog and a blood eagle, but no worries. Yes, the reason being, shotguns perform very well with VATS. That's the go-to approach I'm currently using too, and so far using VATS in power armor has always been a bit of a nuisance, for the simple reason that it drains your fusion core very fast. Like if you're using up AP, that's what drains your fusion core, and since VATS constantly drains your AP, you're burning through fusion cores very fast with using this. Now, what's different around this time is that recently Bethesda made a little change to the explosive vents, which was a lag modification for the power armor, which was supposed to give you a explosive kind of damage radius around you on impact when you were doing a superhero landing with your power armor. What's supposed to happen was that, yeah, you're just having an explosion going on around you, damaging enemies, but for some reason that never worked. And for some reason Bethesda didn't feel like repairing it or patching it, and rather changing the explosive vents into cooling vents. Now, cooling vents do reduce your fusion core drain. Like, if I remember correctly, what's supposed to be is like 5% less fusion core drain per cooling vent. So overall you can reduce your fusion core range by 10%. Couple that with the how's it called, the power user perk, which reduces your duration by 50%. That makes it 60%, and that's noticeable. Now, obviously I would like that if the cooling vents did a little bit more. I feel like 10% with both legs is a bit low, especially since you're losing out on calibrated shots. So I just, yeah, it happened exactly like I thought it would. No one's gonna use those things. The payoff is not high enough. Pretty simple. Like, you're always going to have a better option with the calibrated shocks. Well, the one thing I wanna do here though is I found something which is, as you can see here down there, we started the video with 45 fusion cores. There were like 10% left, I think, and we already burned through them. But what you can do is you can use the repair bobblehead. Where is it? Here it is, for another 30% fusion core duration. Now, if you are going to add up all of that, you do have 50% more fusion core charge from power user. Then in addition to that you have 10% less drainage from the cooling vents, both of them, and then you add another 30% on top of that from this here bobblehead. Now all of that leads to 90% reduction. However, what I found out is that for some reason it seems more like 100% reduction. Now, to be entirely clear, I did this with another character where I tried it out, and I was having the perk on Curator, and I was playing for a really long time, like for 2 hours, using those repair bobbleheads, and I was losing like 5% or 10% of fusion core drain while constantly using VATS, which was kind of amazing, to be honest. So I'm not entirely sure how it works. The thing is, you won't see any movement for the most time, but once an hour or so, you see that your fusion core jumps down like 5%. Now, if you want, just keep an eye on the fusion core down there, and you will see how little we're going to reduce it. One thing I can say is that even without using the repair bobblehead, the fusion core drainage is okay. Like, you can definitely manage to keep going without the repair bobbleheads. It's definitely not necessary. So you definitely burn a little bit through your fusion cores, but not in a way that I say it's impossible to do. Those cooling vents, they do help a little bit. And yeah, today we do have some crazy legendaries here. This might be interesting. Alright, it isn't. Yeah, it's an ultrasite version as well, so not exactly good. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to the thing that makes this build a little bit special. I just wanted to have some reason to show off this here fusion core thingy. To the build itself, we're using a quad double barrel shotgun, which you probably have noticed already, since the double barrel shotgun pretty obviously has 2 shots usually, and we are having 8, so nothing out of the ordinary here. A VATS approach, pretty standard for shotguns, however I found it really works well with this weapon here. Also, I'm not too frightened about the assault run this time around, because it's actually going to heal us. Also recharging our fusion core. And last thing, if we want to, we can just triple this guy very easily and basically render him useless, more or less. So yeah, pretty easy approach here. Now, the one thing I do like about this build is I always liked shotgunners in the first place, and yeah, having some extra tankiness from using power armor rather than standard armor is really nice thing to have. You don't have to worry a whole lot about your damage, about your health bar. Now, we do use the excavator armor simply because as I said, I was using cooling vents, and since we don't have access to calibrated shocks that way, we at least have the 100 extra carry weight bonus from the excavator armor. And after all, it's still power armor, it still makes it pretty tanky. I do think there's better power armor out there, but for our reason here, the excavator works best in my opinion. You also can obviously not use cooling vents, use any power armor you want, and rather use calibrated shocks or anything actually. You won't see a whole lot of difference. As I said, it's 10% with both legs, which isn't the greatest improvement in the world. So as you can see here, we ran out of VATS, but that doesn't really matter all that much. You can also just go for crippling limbs if you wish. You can go free aim, might as well show that off here. You do have a respective damage output. Now, the reason I decided to go for this here shotgun rather than another one is what I found pretty odd is that everyone knows about how good the quad explosive double barrel shotgun is. If you go and take a look at the trading forums on Facebook or Reddit or anything, those things are pretty valuable. People pay a pretty hefty price for it. But what I always found kind of interesting is that the moment you have a quad double barrel shotgun that's not explosive, people just seem to not care anymore. Like, I found this one for I think 200 caps in a vendor, given it's just a quad one with bash damage. That's not outrageous or anything, but I do relatively often see quad double barrel shotguns that are just there for like 500 caps or something, and they are still one of the best shotguns in the game in my opinion. I do really like them. I always like the aesthetic of the double barrel shotgun. It's the most shotgunny shotgun in my opinion, which is very important if you go for a shotgunner. And yeah, just having this kind of train here going on is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Now, I do have a Furious version as well, with better VATS hit chance and faster filling VATS crit meter, which I wanted to use because, as you probably know, I do like the Furious effect on shotguns. If you're using them in VATS, it can be pretty good. But yeah, I can't really show that off because it got glitched accidentally, since I'm using Power User, and I can remember the glitch where you can basically give yourself infinite ammo on things like shotguns, or the dragon, I think, is often used for that. Yeah, that somehow has to do with the Power User perk, and yeah, I can assure you I did it on accident. But yeah, I still have like 50 shots or something in that other shotgun, and I don't want to use that in the video. So now that I think about it, maybe if I drop it or something, it will be back to normal. But yeah, it doesn't matter actually. We do have this quad version here, that's what we're going for. Now obviously quad explosive would be perfect. Another thing that would work kind of well is quad wet hit chance, in my opinion. That would do us a good favor, would work very well with our build. But other than that, yeah, as for a third effect, obviously faster reload, very nice. I'm not sure if I would take anything else than faster reload if I could decide. Obviously things like less VATS cost or something like that could be cool, but yeah, faster reload would definitely be the greatest benefit here. You also saw when I did fight the Scorch Beast, we do have a respective damage output, so there's actually not a whole lot of a limit to this weapon. You can do pretty much anything with it. You can even be pretty helpful at a Scorch Beast Queen event. Now, not only because you're crippling, but you do have respective damage output. That's not the problem here. It's one of the most layback shotgunners I did so far. It's really easy to play. You don't have to worry about anything really. Also, being in power armor not only gives you a benefit in terms of just more damage resistance or anything, but we can also utilize the legendary perk, the one that recharges your fusion core when you're hit by a energy weapon, as well as healing you. So yeah, that even more helps with our fusion core drainage. Now, I didn't really pay attention before we hit the Blood Eagles that have energy weapons, but yeah, we're at 100% fusion core charge, and I'm not sure. I think we should have been around the same place before. Now, this is a very cool chain of Gun Fu here. Like, what was that? 40% extra damage. You really felt that. So, what was it? 2 shots on the Death Claw. That's kind of cool. So, let's get through with that. I think we do clear both the backyard here as well as the front yard on this occasion, because we were actually doing pretty well. Now, I'm not quite sure why shotguns still have kind of a bad reputation. I think they work kind of well. I mean, they're always going to suffer from not having any armor penetration perks, but yeah, I don't know, 2 shots for a high level super mutant isn't anything bad or something. I also do enjoy using normal double barrel shotguns every now and then. I'm not too bothered by the reload at all. I actually kind of like it. It gives me this shotgunner feeling. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to double down on safety, yeah, get yourself a what's it called, a combat shotgun. It's the best shotgun in my opinion. While it has the lowest damage, yeah, it's just basically a quad version in and of itself. The standard magazine has 8 shots in it, and it performs very well. Has an armor penetrating mag, so that helps a lot, making it basically more powerful. Not a lot to say about it. I just feel like it doesn't feel a lot like a shotgun, so I'm not too keen on the combat shotgun. Someone keep track of how often I do say shotgun in this video, by the way. I guess it's more than 3 times. And yes, let's see. So last few times we cleared this place here, we pretty much always forgot someone and were interrupted when looking through the perks and everything. I want to make sure that that's not happening today. Now, our AP comes back relatively quickly, especially since we are in power armor. We do have the core assembly modification for our torso, if I'm remembering correctly. That's going to help us a lot, but in addition we do have Lone Wanderer perk and Action Boy. So yeah, nothing to worry about on this occasion. Like, alright, we do have that one turret here, but I think we should be pretty good this time. Alright, there we have a hound. I guess then there are one or two more super mutants as well. Yeah. They're hiding down there. Is that new? I never really recognized that, but those guys could very well be the ones that were messing with us the last few times. Alright, you too. Oh, and another one. So there's just a group of super mutants hanging out down there. Interesting. Yeah, our optics here, the skin for the power armor, we do have the scabbard paint on the legs and the torso, and the rest is the Bloodraider skin. Alright, and we do kill some floaters as well. By the way, in my last video I said I'm going for the tail because that's supposed to be the weak spot of these things, so I heard at least. However, going for the heads seems to do pretty much as good, so I'm not sure if it's worth it to go for their legs. Not legs, sorry, their tail. Little sharp thingy down there. Alright, anyways, this was the gameplay. I hope you did enjoy it. As I said, pretty powerful. I'm not sure, like, yeah, if it's my best shotgunner video. I think the Iron Lady would be a bit more powerful, but overall, yeah, I did enjoy this one very well for a simple reason that it's so easy. And now you can see we did lose a little bit of duration on our fusion core. But yeah, as you can see, it's totally manageable as soon as you have the repair bobblehead, and even if it's not, yeah, you can manage the amount of fusion cores you need easily. So that was it. We're now taking a look at our mutations here. We do have Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Carnivore, Eagle Eyes, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. So pretty much the same mutations I had on my build yesterday. That was on another character though. So Adrenal Reaction, always hit or miss. Like if you are a low health build, obviously take Adrenal Reaction. If you are not, it's just, yeah, you either like it or not. You often are at like 50% health and get that damage buff. You can also go for more max HP though. Nothing really necessary here, take it or not. Bird Bones and Carnivore and Eagle Eyes, Marsupial and Speed Demon. Speed Demon, Bird Bones and Eagle Eyes I would definitely recommend. More agility from Bird Bones helps with our vets. Same with Eagle Eyes. The perception especially is pretty important since we do have relatively low base perception, and getting a boost to that is kind of important because we want to hit the heads at a kind of reliable range. Extra crit damage also nice since we're using a lot of crits. And Speed Demon, yes, we're reloading very often, and shotgun itself is not all that fast, so yeah, boosting our reload speed definitely important here. Marsupial pretty much always there, and Carnivore, well, you don't need it, it's just there. Didn't do anything for the video, so yeah, use it or use it not. The better option here would actually be Herbivore, probably for the simple reason that you can boost your critical damage a lot, so that would help if you're going against the Queen or something for among those lines, but it's not necessary in my opinion. Leaving us with this tier special: 6 strength, 10 perception, 6 endurance, 7 charisma, intelligence of 10, agility of 15, and luck of 8. And well, let's get into the equipment here. There it is, a quad bashing damage double barrel shotgun. So overall this seems like a little stinker, to be honest. Doesn't look like much, but yeah, the simple reason that it has quadruple ammo capacity makes it pretty good already in my opinion. Now if I could choose a perfect weapon for this build here, it would be either quad explosive faster reload or quad vets hit chance faster reload. Maybe quad vets crits faster reload, but well, anything with quad and faster reload basically. Onto our armor, pretty straightforward here. We do have those vented legs, so excavator with cooling vents. The helmet is sensing, which gives us another 2 extra perception, which is kind of nice. I just explained that with the Eagle Eyes mutation. The arms are unmodded. because there's nothing we can need here, and then yeah, core assembly, torso for faster action point refresh. Pretty straightforward on this occasion. And now we're getting into the perks. We do have strength of 14, master shotgunner, shotgunner and expert shotgunner all maxed out. We want all the damage bonuses. Scatter shot, very important in my opinion, the faster reload especially. Like, it's nice to have a variety of different shotguns that weigh basically nothing. Pretty cool, but yeah, the 30% faster reload, pretty important. Now keep in mind, it's the same thing as with lock and load. If you are in power armor and you have any perks that alter your reload speed, once you enter you're leaving your power armor and re-enter it, those perks don't work anymore. You have to re-equip them. It's the same with ground pounder as well. Keep that in mind. So if you're crafting something or such and you get back into your power armor, just re-equip scattershot. And lastly, we do have bandolier. Now I'd say if you really just want to do this shotgunner here and just carry shotgun shells, you can definitely get away without bandolier. Not necessary in my opinion. It's not like you're carrying 50,000 shotgun shells most likely. But if you want to do rank 2 of bandolier, pretty straightforward here. Perception, as you can see here, this was something that threw me off a little bit in the beginning. Like, I did actually want to have way more perception, but since we have the sensor helmet with 2 extra perception and the mutation, you saw that we're actually at 10 perception, which is definitely fine. Gives us a decent head chance in close range, so nothing more we need here. Skeet shooter, now accuracy and spread, not the most important thing for us, since those kind of things don't really matter all that much once you're in using bats. However, the accuracy does help us a little bit, so I want to have it there, especially if you're going for free aim a little bit. It's helpful, and at least a little bit of perception we want to have. Same with concentrated fire here, rank 1 to target limbs. That's it. Now if you can afford to go higher with perception, obviously more ranks of concentrated fire would be nice, especially if you're shooting Scorched Beast wings. Rank 3 of concentrated fire could come in very handy. Onto endurance, we do have rank 3 of life giver, rank 3 of fireproof, so pretty standard investment here. Relatively low endurance, but giving us like survivability perks. Pretty straightforward. Fireproof, we don't have a dense chest piece since we are in power armor, so fireproof is nice in order to reduce damage from Scorched Beast, blast attacks, and suiciders, exploding cars, whatnot, and just a little bit more health from life giver. Charisma, we do have Lone Wanderer and Tenderizer, so Charisma at 7, higher than I usually do, but yeah, I wanted to have this extra AP refresh from Lone Wanderer combined with the extra tankiness, pretty cool. And Tenderizer definitely useful here, works very well with shotguns, so yeah, I really like it. Just extra damage at the end of the day. Intelligence at 14, pretty high, but that shouldn't be a big surprise. It's often pretty high when you're doing a power armor character. We do have first aid here, power user, demolitions expert, and batteries included. Now batteries included in power user, pretty straightforward, since power user very important here, otherwise you're just burning through your fusion cores very fast. Batteries included, well, we're carrying a lot of fusion cores, those weigh a ton. They weigh 3 pounds each or something like that, so yeah, batteries included I definitely use here. And the rest, well, first aid, pretty straightforward. We wanted to have high intelligence, and first aid is never a bad pick in my opinion. You obviously can just spam multiple stimpaks, but it overall reduces the amount of stimpaks you need, and since you are out in the field and not taking cover or being stealthy, you get hit a lot, so most fights you want to use a stimpak sooner rather than later. So yeah, that's about it. That's why we're using first aid. And demo expert, I just not wanted to use gunsmith for once because I tend to use it a lot, and shotguns actually have a very good condition nowadays with all the changes, so you can definitely live without gunsmith. And I wanted to have demo expert here for the simple reason that probably people who want to use a quad double barrel shotgun will go for a quad explosive one. That's pretty much the end goal you set for yourself, most likely. And well, if that's the case, you want to have Demo Expert. So I wanted to show how the build performs without Gunsmith. Otherwise I would have just said, yeah, if you're using an explosive version, just swap out Gunsmith for Demo Expert. And well, I started with Demo Expert, even though we're not utilizing it in the video. Onto Agility at 11, 3 Action Boy, Enforcer, Gun Fu at rank 1, and Adrenaline at rank 1. Now feel free to go all the way up with Agility. Improving Gun Fu and Adrenaline is a good idea. We often make use out of Gun Fu. Adrenaline, obviously, always a good pick, so you could go higher. I just didn't have the perk points here, but that's what I went for. Enforcer, very important. You don't want to run a shotgunner without Enforcer. Maybe if you're doing stealth one or something, but yeah, it's just too powerful of a build, like of a perk. So it just gives you an enormous chance to cripple enemies, like 2 or 3 shots to their limbs and they're crippled pretty much always. Action Boy, more AP refresh. Gun Fu at rank 1, I just said it, we're often using it. Works very well, like if you're clearing the White Spring Golf Club, for example. This thing can be a time saver and really makes you powerful. Like you can sometimes clear an entire room with ease. And Adrenaline, just a little bit of a damage boost. And on to luck. Now, Grim Reaper Sprint, 4-Leaf Clover, and Storage Jeans. Ideally, I would have made a bit more room in luck to use better criticals, which we don't on this occasion. It's just something I didn't have room for, and this is the combination I went for. Now, Grim Reaper Sprint has a chance to refill our action points. That's really helpful since we aren't one of those characters that has like 40 agility, so we're not having very high agility. It's good enough, but having a chance to refill out our AP bar is very nice to have here. And 4-Leaf Clover, that's the perk that makes it so we do have a lot of crits. I've shown it off in I think 2 different shotgunner videos so far. Like basically the thing is, each hit in bats has a chance to refill your critical meter, pretty high chance that is. If I had to take a guess, it's probably something around like 15 to 20%. The thing is though that shotguns do shoot 8 individual shots, 8 or 9, I think it's 8. So these little pellets, and for some reason if you use them in bats, every single one of those pellets has a chance to proc this effect here, which means that yeah, you're very often refill your critical meter within a single shot. Sometimes it takes 2. I mean, you can get incredibly unlucky and use 3 or something, but yeah, on average I'd say that yeah, you're using 1 shot and you're back to your crit. Lastly, Storage Jeans, pretty obvious here. We want to keep our mutations and not gain any other. And last but not least, we do have our legendary perks here. We do have legendary luck, agility, perception, strength, and endurance. So just a little bit more room for perks. And the only thing that's really important here or interesting is electric absorption, as I said during the video, giving us a chance to recharge your fusion cores. And also, if that happens, it will heal you. So yeah, renders some enemies completely useless, like for example the Assaultrons, which can be a real pain in the ass for most characters, but if you have a power armor character and use this perk, they can't damage you with their laser. They're just healing you and refilling your fusion core back to 100%. It's pretty crazy. I'm still amazed by how potent this perk is. It's very good. Simple as that. And now that was it. I hope I didn't miss something. I have a feeling like I do, but I just thought about it and I can't pinpoint what that would be. I'm pretty sure I have covered everything. Pretty cool thumbnail in my opinion. Turned out very well, even though one can not see the shotgun very well unless you know it's a shotgunner. Yeah, I do like the power armor paint, the Bloodraider one. Just wanted to mix it up a little bit with the Scavo version, so it's not too Bloodraider, if you get what I mean. But yeah, overall, what can I say about the build? I always enjoy revisiting shotgunners. Now, for some reason, I never stuck with the shotgunner for a long time. Like for the most part, most builds I do, I have some bases I used at a point, which I used for weeks. Never happened to me with a shotgunner. I mostly do them for a video, use them for a week or something, and I always enjoy them a lot. I just stray on to something else most of the times. But this one here, actually very laid back, very cool build. I really enjoyed it. Makes the game very easy. There's not a lot of situations where you have trouble. Now you can obviously go down, especially if you're grouped by a lot of super mutants. That can happen. Or gutsies can be a pain because you have to get relatively close in order to target their thrusters, and in the meantime, if they are those ballistic ones, we do have relatively low endurance, so they just chew through your health. But ultimately, well, if you're keeping an eye on your health bar and use a stim pack every now and then, yeah, there's nothing that really surprises you anymore. You should stay alive, and yeah, power. As I said, the only thing that can hold you back a little bit if you're fighting something like the Scorched Beast Queen or a Sheep Squatch is waiting for your AP to refresh, so you maybe want to use a bit more free aim rather than relying on bats, which is definitely possible. It's a bit hard to manage because if you're just tapping the button like 8 times, yeah, the recoil will make it hard, but yeah, giving yourself some trigger discipline and it's easy to maintain. You're just losing out on quite a bit of damage from criticals, but yeah, shoot free aim for 1 magazine, then you have your AP back, so you can shoot a magazine in bats, and yeah, that's the process. It's just a bit tedious, but to be honest, even with Scorch Beast or something, there's not a lot of time involved in killing them. You saw it in the video. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.